morning. Good morning. How are you? Hello, and welcome to episode 18 of Pentart 101. Thank you for being here. I'm Teresa with Teresa Renee Art, and we are going to be doing a couple fun things this morning. Hello, Brenda. Hello, Betty. Hello. We'll give it a few minutes for our friends to roll in. Hello, Dana. Hello, Karen. Thank you guys so much for being here. Saturday morning, our normal time. Good morning. I hope you guys are doing fantastic. Hi, Christina. Hi, Kelly. Hello. Hi, Mel. All the usual suspects this morning. Good. Welcome in. Come on in. Get comfortable for the hour. We are going to be doing image transfer and express transfer. These are wonderful products. Again, kind of going down through the vault, right? The vault of the Express of the Pentart line, pulling out some goodies and seeing some things you probably have never seen before. And that's kind of what we're here to do, is to introduce you to all of the fabulous products in the line. Hello, Cindy, and give you some ideas about how to use them. So again, today we're doing image transfer and we're doing express transfer. So 2 products. My demos are going to be very simple this morning, you guys. I have to get my son ready for camp. So we're going to keep it short and simple today. All right. And then I'll let you guys do the rest with your imagination. If my friend Mara is on from Vintage Retail Therapy by Mara, I know that she has used both of these products, one in particular on like fabrics and things. I'm not demonstrating fabrics, but she might be able to point you into how she used them there. Good morning. Okay. Hi, Linda. Hi, Deborah. Hi, Rennie. Dana, Betty. Yes. So we're on episode 18. We've got about 40 in the series, so we're not quite halfway done. If you know somebody who needs to be here, please let them know that we're on and get them over here. It's so funny because I see tons of questions. I follow groups all over the place, and I see tons of questions about Pentart products posted in various other groups. And, several of you who follow along and watch are pointing people back here during the week, which is fantastic. I don't personally do that myself because I feel like it's sort of, I never want to infringe on someone else's group, right? Particularly as a brand owner. So I don't personally do that, but it tickles me a little bit when I see you guys doing it. And then, what else was I going to say? But then there's people who don't, and I'm like, well, they're missing out. Bring them over, bring them over. So this is the one-stop source for all the Pentart info. We are sharing these. We are saving these demos here on YouTube, everywhere, in order to continue to refer people back to them and try to keep them focused and on task. So with that said, if this is your first time here, just please save the questions until the end. Sometimes when I'm working, I get really focused on what I'm doing, so it's hard to stop and answer a bunch of questions along the way. And then I'd also like the opportunity to repeat the question and answer it at the end. Okay, for the sake of all of those people who are watching on replay, we will have a lot. Good morning, Tina. Good morning, Lynn. Hello. All right, you guys. So all that out of the way, let's get started. And I'm going to move my camera down just a little bit. I had it higher for a project I was working on. Let's move that down. Okay. So when it comes to express transfer and image transfer, all that simply means it's just another way of getting the effect of a transfer, or it's sort of in between, I guess I would say, like a rub-on transfer or decoupage. It's another technique for transferring. Both of these are two more techniques for transferring your own images onto a surface. Okay. Of course, we all know the two most popular ways are using rub-on transfers that are commercially available and decoupage. Okay. So decoupage is where you're actually gluing the image onto the surface, and you're gluing everything, paper, ink, everything. You're leaving that behind, and you're fusing it to your board using special decoupage glue or medium. All right. So in the case of image transfer, image transfer is kind of an old school technique, you guys. And it's, transferring an image using glue and such, like some sort of gel medium, which that's all this is a gel medium. And then rubbing away the paper. So at the end, you're leaving behind only the ink. Okay, so the image stays intact and you're leaving behind the ink. There are several ways to do this. You can do it with like gesso. You can do it with special types of glues. But this product, image transfer, is specially formulated for the old school kind of classic image transfer technique. If you've never done any sort of image transfer, it is kind of fun. Like, it is a little bit of a tedious process, but there is something to be said about kind of like working away the paper. I actually find it very satisfying. So there is something to be said for that. This will also work on fabrics and such like that too. So what I'm going to show you, basically the way you start, and I hope that this is, it's not showing mirrored on my end, but basically the way you start is you need to use, for both image and express, you need to use a laser printer. This will not work with an inkjet printer. It has to be a laser printer. So I want to be clear about that. With image transfer, you can use a color printed image. In this case, I chose to keep it simple, and I'm using a black and white. When you print out your image, it needs to be flipped. It needs to be mirrored, okay? And tell me if this is showing up mirrored on the screen. It's not on my end. I hope it is on yours, but it does need to be mirrored, because what you're doing is you're putting it paper side down, the front side down, and you're leaving behind the print. Okay, good. So we're going to start. I'm going to show you image transfer, and I have this print that I have printed with a laser printer, and it is reversed. Okay, I have painted my surface white, so it is white. And when I lay it down, it's going to be the correct, the writing is going to be the correct way up. Okay. So the first thing that you do with image transfer is you want to get a clean brush, and you're going to take your clean brush and you're going to apply this onto the surface. Okay. Kind of in a thin, even layer. You don't need a whole lot of this. A thin, even layer. And then you're going to do that same thing on the image itself. So you want to apply it everywhere that you have ink, the ink that you actually want to transfer. You're going to do that. Okay. You're basically turning this into a transfer. And now you're going to lay it down onto your surface. It's very simple, but it is a little bit, like I said, it is tedious. So you're laying it down onto your surface, and then you're going to push out the air bubbles using some sort of tool. The little decoupage squeegee is a good tool. I don't have enough up here. Put some up here. And then just make sure that your board is fully covered, your surface is covered. Wherever you want that transfer happening, just make sure that it's flush. Okay. Let me wipe off the excess over here. And then what you're going to do is you're going to set it aside. Well, Linda, only if you want it. For this one, the color will actually transfer. So if you wanted an image that had color on it, you could certainly use a color image. And then you can always paint over it, paint along the outside to blend. I just kind of chose, for the purpose of this demo, to keep it simple, and I chose a black and white image. Okay. All right. So you're going to set that aside and you're going to let it dry. Okay. So here, I did this one last night. It is fully dry. And we are going to start playing around with this one. Let me get it. So we're going to start playing around with this one. Now, this is dry, and I'm going to start removing, I am going to start removing the paper. So now I'm misting it, and it's good if you mist, like, if you can mist a towel. And you're just sort of you're rubbing off the paper. My ink. You know what? You know what I did, you guys? I didn't use a laser jet. I used an inkjet. I'm like, why am I getting so here's an example of what happens if you use an inkjet. I do have a laser jet, but unfortunately I printed these on my inkjet last night. I was like, why is this getting why is this leaving behind all this garbage? It's okay. I'm going to show you the technique anyway. Again, so for those of you who are asking if I can use an inkjet, this is what happens when you use an inkjet. For the Express, I'm going to have to reprint it, so you're going to have to bear with me. You're going to have to bear with me while I reprint the Express one. It is not supposed to smear. It won't smear if you use an inkjet. In fact, let me go ahead and print. I'm just so used to printing on my my inkjet that I totally didn't even think about. Hold on one second. Did not even think about what I was doing. All right, so let me print. I have my laser jet. That's embarrassing, you guys. I'm here to do a professional demo, and I'm showing you how not to do it. All right, but anyway, you can see that it does. You start rubbing away the paper, and little by little, it leaves the image behind. Okay, and you can do this on with color. You can do this with color prints. Doesn't have to be black and white. All right, so that's what happens when you start rubbing away the paper. And then basically you what you do is you let it dry and you continue that process. So let's let it dry for a second and then let's rub a little bit more. Yes, you can also use, like if you like to print things on Zazzle, you could also use like Zazzle paper for larger prints. You can do that as well. It works out okay. There is a group, and I can't remember the name of it, but there is a group that that kind of specializes in image transfer. There's a couple of them. And so, you know, they sort of specialize in this technique. So it does take a while to rub all the paper away. It does take a while. And of course, this one's going to look the same by the time we're done. I have an extra board here. So what I'll do is maybe we'll try to repeat it and then force dry it using the laser printed one. All right, so then you would mist it again after it's dry. And that just keeps softening the fibers. And then you begin the process again of rubbing away all the paper, okay? And then it's supposed to leave behind the laser ink on there. All right, you guys. So that is the image transfer. Let's try it again. Since I just printed it on the laser, you guys. So let's try it again. And I did paint an extra board white. So hopefully I can do this demo correctly with the laser. All right, so let's try this again. All right, image transfer. And let's do it. All right, so image transfer. And then we may be able to start rubbing it away here toward the end, especially if I take a little bit of heat to it and get it to dry on there. All right, this is my laser print, which is the one that I want. And I said it several times at the beginning that it has to be a laser, not even thinking that my own print wasn't. So it's good though, because now you can see what happens if you don't use a laser. All right, so let's put that down. And squeegee that out. There we go. The one thing that I do like about this technique is the image that gets transferred is not going to be perfect. It will have a little bit of, it's going to have some imperfections in it. Like it's going to look like kind of aged, which is nice, especially if you're a vintage lover like me. All right, so I'm going to set that to the side. I'm going to set that to the side, and then we're going to see if it dries in time for us to continue with it. All right. So now let's do, and I'm going to toss my ink jets over there. Now let's do what about, it will work. It does work on fabric. I have done it on fabric. Now let's do express transfer. So this one is a little bit easier, you guys. Express transfer is a more instantaneous result. And again, this one does need to be a laser print. I will tell you, for express transfer, this one works much better with black and white than color. It does work with color somewhat, but the image it leaves behind is very faint. It doesn't transfer color very well. So this one is going to work much better with a black and white print than color. And the way you do this one is going to be kind of rubbed on. So we're going to lay this face down, you guys, and this is flammable. So this is, this does have like solvents and chemicals in it. This is flammable. So you want to be careful when using this. And then you take a Q-tip, okay? And then you're going to kind of blot off the excess. Hold on. You do need to like blot off the excess, so it doesn't need to be dripping. So you're going to take your Q-tip and you're going to rub the backside of this image. And you're going to do that all the way around. And that is basically causing the ink on the other side to begin releasing. And I like to do I actually do the whole image at once before I start rubbing it down. And it's just a Q-tip. And you're really only concerned about the areas that have writing or an image that you're trying to release. You guys, is Mara from Vintage Retail Therapy? Mara, are you on? I know she has used both of these products quite a bit, you guys. She's used them for, you know, fabrics, and I actually have not. She probably should have done this demo because she's used these products more than me. All right, so now you're going to take this tool and you're going to start rubbing the back of your, there we go. So you're going to start rubbing the back of the paper. Siri is talking to me. You're going to start rubbing the back of the paper. And it's going to transfer that image down, you guys. So this is almost like a rub-on transfer. It's like making your own rub-on transfer. Again, this is going to work much better with black and white. So in this case, somebody was asking about a PNG file. Yes, you're better off having a PNG file, or at least printing a JPEG that has a white background. Okay. All right, so let's see what we have. It's like magic. I'm holding the bottom so that when I lift it up and I lay it back down, if there's some spots that didn't transfer well, I'm laying it down in the exact same spot. Look at that. So that is really pretty. I'm pretty happy with that. Okay. So it just leaves behind sort of the kind of it's the mirrored image, right? And it leaves behind the image. Okay. So, and then there's no glue, there's no decoupage here, there's no plastic, like there's no film from a transfer. All that's been left behind here is the ink. So it's just a very kind of clean process, if you will. And I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to line that up, but I had a little spot here that didn't quite get transferred. So see if I can get that. So if you wanted to further decorate this, like with a transfer or something over the top of it, it's just a very nice kind of clean surface that it leaves behind. And then you can see there's still plenty of ink and print on the back side, but it does transfer enough of it onto your image here. Okay, so that's image transfer in a nutshell. Pretty easy, simple to use. A while ago, I had done a couple of clipboards using this product, and the key really is to sort of blot it off as you go, because you don't want your Q-tip to be dripping. It does get sort of oily, and you don't want your Q-tip to be dripping. Otherwise, it's going to turn into sort of a soggy, oily mess. Okay. All right. So let's come back to this guy. Let's dry it and let's see if we can get a good clean transfer using the image transfer. Any questions about either of these products? We're at 30 minutes in, you guys. So again, short and sweet demos today. These two we're going to toss them. Probably not, Betty, because you've gotten off sort of the top layer of that ink, which is going to be probably the loosest. I don't think that you could get another round from it. If you did, it would probably be very faint. You could try it and see. Your print rice paper. The rice paper is going to be too thin. It's going to be too thin. Just use regular copy paper. And you're going to be wasting your expensive rice paper. So use your rice paper for decoupage. They do need to be sealed. Now, yes, you can seal it. It might work for a pretty distressed look, correct? All right, I'm going to do something real fast. I'm actually going to spritz this with water, and then I'm going to dry it some more. Normally, you would just put it on and then let it apply overnight. Retailers, if you have these products, please share your link to your stores. We do have several retailers throughout the USA, hundreds, in fact, who carry Pentart, many of whom are on right now. So please share your links, retailers. Particularly if you can share your links anyway, but if you have these products in particular, please share the link to the product. I think we're almost there here. Thank you, Robin. Thank you, Dina. Christina, image transfer works better on fabric. Although I've seen Mara use both, and she has had fabulous results. If I were doing fabric, I personally would use image transfer. Okay. All right. And the names are confusing, guys. So, you know, if you just say, I'm looking for the transfer liquid, I just want to be clear, you guys. So sometimes, and it's the same with our crackle products. We're not going to know which crackle your product you're talking about unless you use the exact name that's printed on the product. So like if you just say, I'm looking for the transfer liquid, well, we have image transfer, right, which is this one, and then express transfer, which is this one. So just be mindful. Be mindful about the names, you guys, because they can be, you know, it can be a little bit tricky, right? I'm not wrong, right, lady? All right, so now I'm going to wet this like I did before. And I'm going to wet my cloth, my soft cloth. And I'm going to start in my circular motion. And I'm going to start to remove that paper. Okay, so I'm getting a much, much better, cleaner result here, you guys. I'm not having any bleeding. All right, so this is so much better. I'm glad we took the time to do it wrong and then to switch gears and do it right. You can see the image transfer, the image that it's leaving behind, because I'm leaving all of that ink behind. Okay, so you can see it's much darker and much clearer, and that's why I wanted to do 2 black and white prints so you could see the difference. I really wanted to compare the 2 for you so you could see the difference and then start thinking, when might you use one over the other? I'm going to dry this one more time, and then I'm going to mist it and then dry it one more time. Or actually, sorry, I'm going to mist it and then keep going. That's what I'm going to do. It helps if you have like a soft cloth, because that's going to give it a little bit of tooth or something to stick onto. I wouldn't attempt this if it's freshly painted. You know, you want your paint to be pretty well cured on there, because otherwise you're going to start rubbing away your paint. The best sealer is any water-based sealer, whatever sealer you prefer. So if I were going to, and maybe we'll just do it, like let's say if I were going to take a transfer and I have one, hold on one second. Let me go grab a transfer. I was looking for what I've got some that are like some images, like French images. I have some somewhere, but I don't know where they're at. That's the one I was specifically looking for. Let's say, I don't know if any of these are going to work or not. Maybe this one, like if I were to put this, kind of layer it over the top. Let's see what we think of that. If I were to lay that down, because that's transparent. So it's just another way to layer. This one's pretty. Maybe I use this one. It might be a little bit too busy for it, but who cares? Because I got all that writing underneath, right? And I still have a couple spots that need to be rubbed away. All right, let me dry. This is an IOD. These are IOD transfers. This one is ephemeral melange. All right, so let's say I have this little transfer and I wanted to overlay it somewhat. I kind of like that. So if I wanted to sort of overlay that here, this bottom piece. All right, so you guys, if you don't have the decoupage queen, here's my little plug. Miriam, it doesn't have to be sealed first. This one doesn't have to be sealed first. I'm actually going to seal the whole thing after. So if you have a decoupage queen squeegee, you can use the back side of it for rubbing on transfers, and you never have to worry about having a transfer tool again. All right. So boom, there we go. All right. So I have this pretty little overlaid card now, and then I'm just going to use my regular glossy varnish, and I'm going to hit them both together and seal them both at once. Okay. So I'm just going to use glossy varnish. Let's do something with this guy too. Might as well, right? So let's do this. And voila, I am sealed. So this is the regular water-based glossy varnish. So another way to get some layering. I don't use transfers that much, so this is literally what I have. Let's see. I mean, I have this one, but it's going to compete. So I was trying to find something with maybe more, just some flowers. I guess we could use this one, the roses one, and sort of do it the same way. All right. And we'll do this one the same way. So, all right, so just sort of stop it. Actually, what we could do with this one is kind of come along the side here. So let's do that. Let's come along the side of this one. We'll do it like that. So you can see through the flowers a little bit. You guys, my kids left for choir tour this morning, my daughters. They're both going on a 10-day trip across the USA. We don't know where they're going, actually. It's a mystery. Pinky. This one's not wanting to stick down as well. So they left this morning. I've been up since 4:30 because we had to drop them off at church by 5:15. And they left on a big giant bus. I'm so excited for them. So they're going to be singing in various churches all over the USA. It's amazing. All right, so this one, the same thing. Let's just go ahead and seal this one. Again, you can just I'm using the Pentart Glossy water-based sealer. And voila. Okay, so that is pretty much what I wanted to show you. So again, the difference between image transfer, express transfer. This one is going to be a much more faded, vintage looking image. It works best with black and white. This one is going to be a very crisp, clean image, and you can use it with color prints. Both of these require a laser jet image printed in reverse. Okay, so printed in mirrored or flipped. Okay, so you guys, that's what I have. What other questions do you have? Other questions about any of these two products? Very short and sweet, simple demo. If we can find, I don't know if Mara has done her, I know she's used both of these. I don't know if she has used them on, oh, here's what I wanted to tell you. I don't know if Mara has used these on like her regular page. I know she has done them in her private group, but I will say, you guys, if you look at the YouTube for image transfer on Pentart, and I'm going to see if I can link that over. The YouTube for, the YouTube for image transfer on Pentart is actually really good. Here it is. I'm going to drop that in the link. And this is going to show you several different ways, including on fabric, on coffee mugs, how to use that product on other things. So that is going to be the YouTube, Pentart does a nice job of putting out YouTubes of pretty much all their products, but they're very short. So that's why these are a lot more in depth. So they do a nice job. This is a really good one. I actually watched it last night. All right. So last call for questions, you guys. If anybody has any, feel free to share them now. Otherwise, we will see you next week. I don't know what next week is. No, we won't see you next week. I actually won't be here next week. We're going to skip the 9th or the 8th, and we'll be back on the 15th. We will be back on the 15th. And I'm actually, so those of you who watch me, we're working on a clock project. I will not be on Tuesday. I will not be around on Tuesday, but I will be back on Thursday, you guys. So on Thursday, the 6th is when we will finish up our clock project. So I will not be live on Tuesday, and I will not be live on next Saturday. The only time you're going to see me between now and then would be Thursday, June 6th on my page. All right, you guys. On the 15th, we have antiquing gels, laser gels, and laser stains. I'm so excited about those. Those are awesome products. All right. Anybody else? Camp? Yes, camp is it's like 10 days, you guys. Okay. Yes, we're going to Savannah. My husband and I are going to Savannah. We're going to just take advantage of no kids for the week. My son's going to camp on Sunday too. All right, you guys, have a great week. And I will see you guys next time. All right. Take care. Bye-bye.